Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another interesting video here. This is a instrument cluster from Volkswagen EuroVan. From 1996 to like 99, they have the same instrument cluster. They can have some differences, like in this case, we have a tachometer, a speedometer, gauge of fuel and temperature, and some of the digital um, screens in it. There are some differences, like they only have these two, or they have a clock. And then the newer version are completely different in shape of this one. The customer concern, this is for Scott. I'm just going to say that and keep it in there. He said he watched my video of the repair on this one, and this is from a 1999 Winnebago, which is the same thing. And it says on a 1999 Aerovan GLS chassis, the speed and the tach keep going haywire, and sometimes the fuel gauges, if I disconnect the battery for 5 minutes and then reattach, in most cases it works again for a while, but then the speed and the tag goes again, it goes out again, and the fuel gauges is starting to do more of the problem as well. All right, so what I usually do with these ones, I have everything ready connection wise with the simulator to supply power and everything. Connections, let me actually take you there 1 second. I would like to share the information that I have so you guys can see connections and everything. So these are the pinouts, and as you can see on the field gauge, I use a decay box around 70 amps, and that is also at the same time I'm supplying with the same decay box for the temperature gauge on 70 ohms, and that will give me that reading, and that's what I'm looking for usually with these pinouts. For those that haven't seen the internals on this, let me just open up. This is actually from another cluster, not this one. But as you can see, it's pretty much the same. This is just the problems that he was having, the removal. And these are the internals, which I probably will obviously share in here. These, specifically this um, cluster, is having this intermittent, let's call intermittent problem. So I'm going to power up. Oh, I have to turn the power on the simulator and then power up here. All right, now I did it. I can see that I'm drawing zero point 0.4 amps and nothing happening here. So this is exactly his concern. When you supply power to the cluster and you don't hear any of the stepper motors coming on, like zzz, they're not moving. And I know that because if I change this to like zero point 0.6, as you can see, the temperature and the fuel, they're doing nothing. I will set that again. Let me turn this back on. And we can see that they're trying to move, that they're not working at all. And I can hear a noise like I just in trying to, but it's definitely not working. I'm going to set up this again to zero point 0.6, and as you can see, this, oh, now they're reading. You see, this is exactly what they should do. Again, when I put in zero point 0.6 or zero point 0.7, that's the normal reading. If I go back to 0.9, sorry, or 960, they go down to 0. The speedometer and the tachometer is just like, see, this is also the separate motors they're binding, and this is no good. Let me take the power off just to reset them. All right, power back on. Hopefully the microphone let you hear that. I'm going to try to put the speed. I'm going to put the temperature and the fuel on reading. And this is kind of like a normal situation, although I can hear still that whining noise or electrical noise in the instrument cluster, and that's the concern. I can check like the lights and everything is working. I can change the speed, as you can see. and now it's working as it should. I like to keep it around 30 miles an hour. As you see, the tachometer is not working as it should. This is reading like 200 or yeah, like 200 RPMs. That should be moving, and it's not. So this is exactly the customer concern, and I reproduce it here. I like to always keep turning this on and off because that will give me the indication immediately that the cluster is reacting. I can definitely hear that electrical noise. This one is trying to increase the speed. So we might have a short on the tachometer. You see how it's coming up and a little more by itself. I'm not changing the speed. Same thing with with the speedometer. So the tach is going up, the speedometer is going up without me touching anything else. Again, my hands are in the camera and in here. So I went from 30 miles to 40 miles without changing anything. And other thing that I noticed immediately too as well is the delay on the stepper motor. You see now this one went first and that one went last. They should both go up at the same time. And so as when they come down, increase the speed. As I increase the speed, I should be increasing the tachometer. Both signals are going at the same time, and it's not the case. So that tachometer stepper motor is definitely bad. Let me raise the temperature and fuel as well. I just did, and it took a little time for them to do it. But yeah, this is definitely not a good sign as far as the internals on the motor. One thing that I want to give right now, I have 40 miles an hour with 33 hertz. That's the frequency 33, 34 on the signal that I'm supplying for these two. These two are just on the decade box, and they should go from that to zero when I apply or remove the load of the resistance. I'm going to turn the speedometers or the speed and tach off. They should go down to zero, and they did not. So definitely we have an issue here, and I'm able to reproduce. So let me set up the cameras. I'm going to put two cameras, including the phone probably, like that we can have one facing me, another camera recording the entire thing, and then another camera in the boom that I have on here, so we can have a very nice overview of everything that I'm doing. I'll be right back. All right. All right, guys. I took a different direction, and I took a quick look on the board. I found a couple of capacitors and resistors that were kind of like cracked a little bit, but nothing that really catch my attention, exception for this capacitor. This one I have on the screen right here. We have a leaky capacitor. It's going to be a little hard for me to show. Let me try to keep you posted in there while I am trying to zoom in. But yeah, I can see the signs of leakage. Hopefully you can see that right there. I'm going to try to get the board sideways a little bit. Yeah, that's a better capture right there. It will get a little bit off. Yeah, you can see that resistor in there all black. Still not a major damage on the board, but that's definitely a problem that we need to correct right away before that capacitor leaks completely and then end up damaging the board. So I'm gonna have to stop the video here. Everything, get that. I don't have that capacitor, I think. I mean, I'm gonna look for and see if I have it here. Otherwise, I'm going to order and then get you guys back into the next part of the repair. Um, Always, or I will be keeping this as a one repair video. I don't like to do two parts because otherwise I'll let you probably in limbo, and I don't like that. I will try to cut as much as of the other things that I was just waiting on the cluster to react and react again, and I was able to see and follow this, and that's how I found that. But with this, I have to stop. I have to correct that and then keep going on the testing or see if that is the repair. But I'll keep you posted again on the same video. I will be back very soon. All right, guys. Just want to give you an update. I did replace the capacitors, and I ended up having to replace also the IC for the stepper motors, which in this case was the situation we have. As you can see right now, we have the leaking capacitor out. Yep, this is still not correct because I do have one 470. This is a 50 volt. The one they have is a 25 volt, which is a lot shorter, and this will hit on the covers. But at least for today, I can keep doing tests on the motors, on the sorry, on the instrument cluster, and make sure that everything is working as it should. So I'm just going to now keep it running for a while. As you can see, both temperature and fuel are now reading perfect. I can go back to the 35, 33, 35 hertz that I'm supplying to the signal. And then that's around 30 miles an hour. And it's very nice, very steady. Both fuel gauge and fuel level, sorry, temperature are good. Definitely, this is a bed motor, no doubt about it. But for the test that I'm actually doing, I know as a fact I got the signal. I already went over with the oscilloscope in the back and checked for the signal on the motor, and it's there. So it's just a bed motor. So I'm going to replace the separate motors and get the correct capacitors for the height. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Probably, sorry for the weird angle, but as you see, it is definitely, probably quarter of an inch shorter. But again, for testing, it's not a problem. I can definitely confirm the repair this way and then just finish replacing the stepper motors, put everything back together and sending it to him. I'm just going to order that right away. And this is the repair. Hopefully you guys like the video. I know sometimes it's a little hard to record everything that I do. Again, I was trying to reproduce that sound, and now I know it's the capacitor leaking. You'll see that now. Even let me get a little light. I cleaned the board. I have pictures of that really good. Um, Now we can see that. Let me get the light too, so you guys can see. Even now, you can see that resistor next to the capacitor that I replaced. You can see a number. Before it was all black because of that hydrolytic capacitor leaking. Not the case now. And like I said, I went again and recheck all the boards. There were some capacitors in here and some resistors that were about to fall out. So pretty normal. I always replace all the balls and everything in here in all the separate motors and send it to the customer. So, and this is what I'm going to do. I will stop the video here. I don't think it's anything more. If by any chance this will start to work again, I will be putting a second part, but I don't think it's necessary. This is again for my records and his records as well that the repair is done. I can turn the signal off, turn the temperature and fuel off, turn all the power again. Let me do this so we can see that it's working. Oh, this is happening because I took the power off. I have to reset the needles. No matter what I remember, I haven't changed the separate motors, but I did put now the battery and ignition as it should. Ignition back on. Pindle comes on. Setting up the temperature and fuel. And now the speed again. Excellent. All right, so this is 100% repair. Again, just going to stop the video here. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share my videos. That will really, really, really help me. That's the way the channel grows, and I get, a little extra every time, I get more subscribers and more clicks. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate your support. I'm about to reach 30,000 subscribers. I'm really looking forward for that 50,000 mark and then the 100,000 mark. So hopefully I can get to there. I am sorry that I was away a little bit, but I did have COVID and so was my wife. So we were a little sick, not too much. Thanks God I have all the boosters and everything, and that was not so bad. But it's always, you feel really tired, you're slow down. So that was the reason why I was a little bit away. Thank you, God, I recovered my wife as well, and nothing happened. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Hey Scott, this is a short video for you after test. I wasn't going to record an after test video, but I decided to do it so for my warranty and your records as well. I replaced all the stepper motors. Let me just get them here, put them on the side. I'm trying to get the last one. 1 second, trying to keep you there. All right, so like I said, I always mark all the stepper motors. You'll see in the pictures of yours. They has I put your name where it cannot be seen in here, but you will see that in the pictures. Everything is working good. Let me turn lights off, ignition off. I don't have the tachometer connected, but it's already checked and everything is working good. I don't need that's the cells calibrate the zero. That's all I need to calibrate for that one. So that's ignition. I'm going to turn fuel gauge and level off. Okay, perfect. Then I'm going to turn speed off. I'm going now to turn ignition off. You'll see the printer goes off. And then I'm going to turn the battery off. So you can see that after I reset the battery back again it's no power. You'll see that the clock and everything goes away. That's normal. No more crunching motors, and that was a bed motors like I said. Again, ignition on, lights all working 100%. I don't need it for, it's not a glare in here. Again, I'm going to put fuel and temperature. And now I'm going to set up the speed to 30 miles. You see it's 46 hertz with the new motors. And I can go up in the speed. Very nice, very steady, no problems at all. And again, if I set the 30 miles an hour, everything is working as it should. Everything is 100% fixed. Again, 44, 45 hertz is just not a perfect hertz, but perfect for here. Again, this is just an analog reading gauge, so that is perfect. All right, so ignition off. That should just set the needles to 0 because ignition is removed. But if I haven't removed any, neither the speed, neither the voltage, not the voltage, the setting for the fuel and everything. So if I turn the ignition back on, they should go back to where they were exactly. And that is exactly what is happening. So everything good. Again, Scott, you're in good hands. I'm going to give you a call. I get payment and all the shipping information and everything to corroborate everything is ready to go and send this to you tomorrow. All right. Again, you're in good hands. Talk to you later. Bye bye.